No, you can't steal my idea. I keep a note on my phone titled Ideas, and every day when I hear or read or think of some random thing that I think is interesting, I write it down. And then at least once a week, I transfer the contents of the note into Notion, where I sort them into categories such as short film ideas, music video ideas, blog posts, short stories, and recently, of course, YouTube video ideas. At the time of this writing, I have over 100 writing ideas, 10 YouTube video ideas, 4 short films, and 1 podcast. My creative struggle has never been coming up with ideas. Ideas are easy. The hard part is executing those ideas, following them to their conclusion, making sure that they see the light of day. If you're curious which of my ideas get to see the light of day, subscribe below and hit the bell, and maybe YouTube will notify you the next time I upload a video. Every now and then, especially after the release of a popular film, TV show, or book, there are always people somewhere claiming to have had that exact same idea. And then a small fraction of those people actually believe that those ideas were stolen from them. Here's the thing. I don't believe you can steal an idea. I mean, legally speaking, you can't. An idea isn't protected by copyright. Only the expression of an idea is. But I'm not even talking about it in a legal sense. I mean it in the most literal sense, which is that an unexpressed idea doesn't exist in any real sense, and therefore cannot be stolen. In his book about the KLF, which is one of my top 5 favorite books about the creative process, John Hicks describes Alan Moore's concept of the idea space. The idea space is kind of like Carl Jung's concept of the collective unconscious. It's a parallel universe where, instead of people, it's populated by ideas. I imagine them as living, breathing things, sentient beings with their own wants and needs and desires. Somehow, for whatever reason, these ideas want to come into our world. Maybe the idea space is a complex zone, or maybe there are just more opportunities for them over here. Whatever their reasons, they're always on the lookout for people, humans, who can help them cross over. Elizabeth Gilbert told a story about how once Tom Waits was driving on the freeway in LA and a melody came to him. And he started getting agitated because he didn't have a tape recorder or a pen on him. He was worried that he'd lose the song and would be haunted by it forever. But then he stopped the mental process, looked up at the sky and said, "Don't you see that I'm driving? Does this look like a good time? If you really want to exist, come back another time or go bother Leonard Cohen." The way I like to think about it in my own life is in terms of relationships. I need to trust the work and the work needs to trust me. So if, for example, you say that you'll sit down over the weekend and write for 2 hours, then do that. I mean, it's okay to miss once in a while because not everything always goes according to plan. But if you're flaky with the idea will flaky with you. And if you treat the idea with care and respect, it will speak highly of you to its other idea friends. And when those idea friends are ready to cross over into our world, it's you they'll first come to. Surely I'm not the only person who at one point started writing an article or blog post and by the end of it realized that I have an idea for a second article or blog post that most definitely was not there when I started. The more you work with ideas, the more comfortable you get with ideas. And really, that's the secret to getting more ideas. Just treat the ones you already have with care and respect. But the opposite is also true. If you don't treat an idea right, if you don't treat it with the respect it deserves, it will leave you and it will tell all its other idea friends to avoid you. And when you finally get yourself together, you'll have to work twice as hard to regain their trust. At this point, I'll acknowledge that sometimes you might have a great idea, but without the means or resources for treating that idea the way it needs to be treated. and then perhaps you share the idea with someone with more resources, like a big company, for example, and they swoop in and bring that idea to life without compensating you. That does not feel good. And while in most cases that might still be perfectly legal, I don't think it's right. But also, if this other person does the idea justice and successfully brings it into our world, then I think it's worth being happy for the idea, even if you are mad at the person. I know that all this talk about being a thought immigration lawyer / idea coyote might sound a bit too mystical for some of you, and that's fair. But I'm sure most of us here have at some point described our own artistic creation as our babies, our children. The offspring metaphor is very common in creative spaces. Here's some unsolicited parenting advice. You don't actually own your children. They are their own people with their own wants and needs and desires. And your job is to create a conducive environment, like a gardener, where they can grow and flourish into their full potential. So the reason why I'm not worried about anyone stealing my ideas is because, well, they were never mine to begin with.